All right, let's talk about insurance. For a lot of us, buying it can feel like you're trying to navigate a maze blindfolded. But here's the thing. In New York, there's actually this whole detailed rulebook, and it's all designed to protect you, the consumer. So today, we're going to decode that rulebook and show you exactly how this system is supposed to work.
And that's a really fair question, right? When you're dealing with a huge company, with contracts that are pages and pages of fine print, who is actually in your corner? Well, in New York, the answer is pretty clear. You are not on your own. There is a system in place.
And the best way to think about these regulations is like a multi-layered shield. It's standing right there between you and some of the big risks of the insurance market. So now we're going to peel back the layers of the shield, piece by piece, to see exactly how it's built to keep you safe.
So first things first, why do we even need this shield? Why is it necessary? Well, it all boils down to a fundamental imbalance of, well, power and information.
And this right here, this visual gets to the heart of the matter. It's a massive knowledge gap. On one side, the insurer has armies of experts. They have mountains of data. On the other side, you've got your personal situation and the price they quoted you. That imbalance is the #1 reason this protective shield of rules even exists.
Okay, so let's start with the very first layer of this shield. This layer covers the people you actually talk to, the insurance agents and brokers. The official term for them is producers.
This is so important. This is your right to know. A producer can't just sell you a policy and call it a day. They have to be upfront about who they work for and how they get paid. This gives you the power to ask a really simple, direct question. Is this recommendation truly what's best for me, or is it better for your commission? And the rules go even deeper to stamp out obvious conflicts of interest. This controlled business rule, for example, it basically stops a producer from just using their license as a personal discount card for their family and friends, and makes sure their main job is serving the public, not just their inner circle.
And here are some really clear lines in the sand that producers just cannot cross. They can't lie to you about what a policy covers. They can't offer you an illegal kickback to get you to sign. They can't badmouth competitors with false info. It all comes down to a simple demand for honesty and fair play.
All right, so we've moved past the individual agent. Now let's get to the next layer of the shield, the rules that govern the insurance companies themselves. And this is really the core strength of the whole system.
Now, this might sound super basic, but it's probably the most important gatekeeper rule there is. Before a company can sell even one policy, it has to be vetted and licensed by the state. This isn't just a piece of paper, it's the state saying, yes, this company meets our standards.
And believe me, these rules have teeth. Operating without that license isn't just a slap on the wrist. The first time, it's a $1,000 fine. Every single time after that, it jumps to $2,500. The message from the state is crystal clear. You follow the rules or you pay the price.
But just having a license isn't the whole story. The company also has to prove that it can actually pay your claim if you file one. And how do they do that? Through this strict timeline of financial reporting. Regulators are constantly keeping an eye on an insurer's financial health. It ensures that the promise they're selling you is actually backed by real money.
Now, this is where the rubber really meets the road for most of us. The rules are super clear. Insurance companies cannot build their business model on delaying your claim or lying about your coverage or lowballing you when they obviously owe you money. These things are explicitly defined as unfair practices.
And check this out. This is a really concrete piece of power you have. Once you've sent in all your proof of loss, a clock starts ticking. The insurer can't just leave you hanging forever. They have 30 business days, that's about 6 weeks, to give you a straight answer, yes or no. Now this next one, this might just be the bedrock of the entire system. I mean, the law uses this incredibly powerful, direct language to forbid discrimination. It's all about making sure insurance is available based on risk, not on prejudice.
And you can see just how broad that protection really is. It covers everything from race and national origin to your sex or marital status. It even specifically protects victims of domestic violence from being penalized. The whole idea is that the shield protects everyone equally.
Okay, so we've got rules for the producers and rules for the companies. But who actually enforces all this? That brings us to the final and, frankly, the most powerful layer of our shield, the guardian.
And that person is the superintendent of insurance. They're the head of the Department of Financial Services. And this is not just some fancy title. This person is the ultimate authority with the power to investigate, regulate, and enforce the law across the entire industry.
I mean, their job description is massive. They investigate companies, they make sure insurers have enough money to stay afloat, they protect you from fraud, they educate the public, they can even write and change the rules. The superintendent is the active, empowered guardian of this whole system.
And this isn't just a title, there is real power here. If the superintendent kicks off an investigation and a company starts dragging its feet, the fines start immediately. We're talking $500 per day.
So that $500 a day can add up fast, but it gets capped at $10,000 for just one instance of not responding. That is a pretty significant hit, and it's designed to make sure everyone cooperates.
But what if they still don't listen? What about repeat offenders? Well, the superintendent can then tack on an additional $50,000 penalty. This shows a real escalation of power to deal with any bad actors who just refuse to play by the rules.
So, when you put it all together, what do you see? You see a complete system. This protective shield, it starts with transparency right there at the agent's desk. It goes all the way to the core finances of the insurance company, and the whole thing is overseen by a powerful state referee who has the authority to enforce every single rule.
So you've seen behind the curtain. You know the framework that was built to protect you. An insurance policy isn't just a contract between you and a company. It's a regulated relationship. There are rights and responsibilities on both sides. So the real question is, knowing all this, how are you going to use that knowledge?